the Neutral Zone, MauiNeutralZone.com. We are hosted by KAKU. You may or may not see its name behind me. 88.5 FM, the voice of Maui. Housed at Maui, Akaku, Maui Community Media. Yeah, I don't know why aux 2 didn't work, but it didn't. But everything seems to be right and on. So, can you hear me? You can hear me. Can you see me?
I can hear you.
Can
you
me?
Hear me?
You look...
Just keep talking.
Oh, keep talking.
Keep talking.
But that's aux 2. This is Tony, the Magic Man.
Yeah, he's a magic man.
He's checking the connection.
Yeah.
Today's a day of connections.
No?
Interesting, right?
Oh, it's all good.
Something with the board. You got to fix it later.
Thank you,
Okay.
Tony.
All right.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas. Well, we are just coming into a new year. I say the words slowly. What do we say? 26? 26.
We weren't supposed to live this long. There's no way.
I can't hardly believe it.
Yeah.
You know? I'm 75 years old in April.
Oh, Lord.
And the only thing I have to say is I feel like I'm just beginning to get into stride.
There you
I really
go.
do.
Yeah, yeah. You're back in the real estate business.
Well, I've always been in the real estate
Right, but you're
business.
engaging again.
Well, I'm engaging with buyers and sellers, and I may become one again.
There you go.
Maybe to expedite.
You're one big sale away from having that home on the beach.
Oh, I don't want a home on the beach.
Okay.
The beach is going away, remember?
Oh,
Hey,
amazing.
we are here in Maui, and we are so blessed to be here in Maui, are we not?
Always
We
blessed, yes.
And a house on the beach, there's something in life, it's called use. I love the fact someone said, you don't have to own real estate, you have to control real estate. You don't have to
Interesting,
own of a place to do shows. You have to have places to do
Availabilities,
shows.
yeah.
So to me, when I think about real estate in Maui, I think about it as a commodity.
Well, it's no longer private property anymore since they've just imminently demanded and taken away.
Incredible as it sounds, Bill 9, which is bringing more, in theory, online local residential living units.
Right.
To describe each of those, they're all individual. They put them on a list, but I bet if you break it out, there's all kinds of different properties. Some have storage and are big enough to accommodate a local family, one or two.
Right.
And some are not. And all the lawsuits of people who say, look, you don't start a game, change the rules in the middle of the game.
Especially when...
That's not monopoly.
No.
What are you playing, Risk?
And using the term low-income beginner homes for something that's $2 million? Yeah.
That's like,
how did
you have to have 2 full-time incomes at the top tier of income in Maui to qualify. And wait a minute.
And renting a Ponzi scheme somewhere.
Where is Fonzie? No, it's Ponzi.
Fonzie scheme. You're running a Fonzie scheme.
Well, you see, that's once again, you don't need to own it to solve the problem, and there is the solution.
Well, the bank has
Jeff
owned everything,
Bezos
Jason, for decades.
I forgot the guy's name. He's new to me, Peter Thiel. I'm sure there's a lot of people he's not. And all the people here that live here. Now, would it really be a problem if we had a massive build-out, right? Like we're talking to a company.
We are having a massive build-out.
And that the ownership, let's say it was these people that have zillions of dollars, and they partner. It's really good. It's called equity sharing. It happens now, but it doesn't happen with little people.
How many people, Jason, how many people could you get along with interpersonally living with? It's not an easy thing. I mean, they're trying. The only place we have one all-inclusive resort here on the island of Maui, and I happen to work there one day a week. And it's the MCCC, Maui Community Correctional.
You consider that a resort, huh?
That's the only place you can stay where you get your meals, a bed, a place to shower, a little bit of time for recreation. And
that does sound like a planned life, huh?
It is a planned life, but it's hard to get along. with your living with 25 people in a family type unit, there is a rough dynamic there. And it doesn't matter. In the Stanford study, back in the early 70s at Stanford, where they put people in, gave them roles to play.
So you think that the problem isn't solved?
We have friends, you and I have friends that have lived in ashrams. In India and such. That whole concept, as beautiful as it is.
When you say ashram, I'm trying to think, how do you compare MCCC to an ashram? Because there's central kitchen, a lot of people having outboard rooms and central kitchen, facilities that aren't necessarily personally
and they have an agreed upon set of rules and regulations they follow.
Yeah,
and
that's one kind of housing.
Yeah.
There's something they call, it's on the books, cluster housing, alternative experimental projects.
Yeah, we've been down that project, bro.
Many different models.
We've basically dumbed down society doing them.
I saw a picture of, I think it was Fontana, California. I don't know if you know California.
I do. I actually do know Fontana.
The one going out there in...
well, it used to be in the middle of the sticks. It's become a pretty big town. It's a thriving town.
But that's because we keep creating more people. But they created a map. You look at the picture and you see they're building here. Multifamily housing, like 6 or 8 to a unit, in 4 in a quad, and then they have another one and a park and a school. It's a planned community with multifamily housing. It's not.
Florida is filled with those. So is Arizona.
But I'm just mentioning it. This could happen here.
Well, a lot of assisted living is set up like that.
No, but I'm saying so. Why are we're not having a problem? We're having a problem paying for it.
We're having a problem because of the regulations that you have to jump through, where you need to have a full-time attorney to go through every single hoop and jump to build anything.
Well, so put the hands on the control into someone that sees that this plant has been used 25 times here. And you're going to... Why are we taking so long to get many of the same thing?
Well, I think what we're seeing is, and the people of California who survived or lost everything in the fire there, you hear a lot of Hollywood movie stars and such talking on not talk radio, but on podcasts and stuff, now understanding they created this beautiful utopic communities, and now that their piece of the community is gone, they just can't put it back. And they're very angry about it. And that's what the folks that I've been working with in anger management, some of them that have been having to deal with the bureaucracy and with the insurance companies and everything else, there lies a great difficulty. We're not empowering people to go, I'm going to buy a piece of land and I'm going to build myself a house. My brother from another mother, Tim, who has his Lahaina Family Farms, where I was living up there for a long time, and we got so frustrated. Everything we did on the farm, we had different regulations, different agencies, everything. It drove me nuts. So Tim goes to Montana, and I get this phone call, a video call, and he goes, hey, look, this is my building permit. It cost me $45. They said, bring us pictures of what you build, and then we'll assess it. And we'll bring in our inspector, and we'll bring in inspectors 3 different times, make sure your electrical's safe, blah, blah, blah. And bam, the house was up in 45 days. 4,200 square feet in 45 days from laying the foundation to up.
That if you get rid of the level of regulation and red tape, things could move faster.
Very fast, yes. But we don't want to build shanty towns.
No. So I was going to park that because once we have approvals, there's that other piece that I'm trying to get to, which is what I started talking. That is,
Are you getting all that feedback? I'm getting massive amounts of feedback.
Well, that's because I don't put those on.
No. I'm getting like...
I don't know that when the board goes, it goes.
It goes.
Can you guys hear all that?
Can you guys hear a lot of fuzz?
You'll have to tell us right in.
There you go. Yeah.
By the way, we're at 808-873-3435 is our call-in line. What's up, my friend?
Buzzing.
Yeah, I'm getting just lots of static.
You are?
Are we broadcasting static?
Maybe.
No.
Okay.
Everything is fine.
Okay, good. I can live with it.
Board, yeah, no,
Yeah, I was going to say maybe it's our
we were
monitoring
doing something with the
system.
board last week and everything started working well. So.
Oh, good.
I see.
We're all good then.
All right.
As long as it's just me that my clouds are floating around in my headphones.
People with great wealth don't need to move it. They need to assign it.
Well, they do.
And they
And
use
people of
that
great wealth
asset.
don't have great stashes of cash. They
I'm
have.
not looking for
They're
cash.
moving.
I'm
They
looking
move.
for
It's some
value.
value.
I myself, Jason Schwartz, whatever here, after I went bankrupt, really, to me, I was figuring out, okay, that's going to be it. Rather than pay everything and retiring, let this. So that happened. That was.
Yeah.
And then I said, well, if I can do it again, so from credit of 6 or whatever the low is, and I'm now in the mid 700s.
Nice.
I have like
So you're one of those
30
wealthy people.
credit cards. No, but I don't use them. See, the fact is, I have credit that I don't use.
That's good.
I pay my bills on time, and I say, in this day and age, people are checking your credit. You want to buy an ice cream cone. They're saying, well, first we want to check to see if you're qualified to buy this ice cream cone. You want to buy this house? You want to go rent this place?
Oh.
You want a job with us? We're going to run your credit report. Hope you don't mind.
Well,
We're going to run your background check.
Speaking of background checks and credit reports and all that, for the first time in almost 45 years, rental costs have actually gone down. In the last quarter, for the first time in 45 years, according to the Department of Labor and Statistics, the rental costs are receding. They are going down.
How wide is this? Locally?
No,
Statewide? Nationwide?
nationally. And in some states, it's gone down drastically, up to 25%. We've reduced the demand on low income. I'm not talking about high-end rentals. I'm talking about bottom ground, out of school, first-time job kind of rental income. Rentals, the prices have dropped down.
Why? Rental income is never, to me, first time out of a job. Rent is like, it's like goodbye.
Yeah, it is. There is no value in paying rent.
But went back to my old concept. It isn't what you own.
No,
It's what you control.
What you
so
leverage.
Here,
What you
if
leverage.
we want to
Right.
be able to, that's my point, and keeps going back. The fact that rents go down or up, that can be totally manipulated. But if wages don't keep pace to be able to pay those down or up,
Right.
like you say, 25% reduction in rental is great. But if you have no jobs for 150 miles,
Well, and also the demand on rental income and the demand on low or entry level housing correlate. It used to be when I bought my first house in 1983 on Van Ness in Ashland, Oregon. I paid $32,000 for it, 10% loan, and basically my loan payment was the same as my rent. It was really, really close.
and what kind of down payment?
I had rehabbed a single wide mobile home and got $5,000 for it after I rehabbed it, and I have a $5,000 down.
So $5,000 down. So you had a loan of
25.
And I was going to say 90%.
Yeah.
Probably. And so, did you have any PMI?
No,
Property
it
mortgage
was
insurance.
no,
Nothing. Everything was just simple.
It was straight up $398 a month and done deal. And my taxes were like $780 a year. So,
The only reason things go up is because people say,
Demand.
"Wait a minute, I've been here. If I'm here, I'm not just going to leave and give someone the same thing for Mike, but I'm going to make money." So every time someone says, "I'm going to make money," and the price goes up,
right, the demand goes up.
well, but here we are. You're saying there's very low demand, low rental rates, but that's not here. I'm talking about here.
No, that's never been cheap here, ever. I mean, in the 80s, I was living at, oh, golly.
I lived in 1988 when I got here for, I forgot, $300 a month.
Maui Islander was $1,200 a month, 3-bedroom, 3-bathroom, and they came in and washed and did the shower or the toilet, sinks, and mirrors every other day.
Every other day?
For $300 a month.
Because it was long on short-term.
No,
max?
it was the Maui Islander, which changed names. It's one of
No, but why did they come and do that? Did they have a staff there?
They had some condo owners there and stuff, and so it just worked out that way. I had 2 roommates, and
it wasn't like a hotel. It was long and short-term
but
rental.
the Maui Islander was one of those hotels like Paradise Gardens, where I live now.
Yeah,
that was built. Paradise Gardens, where I live now, was built to help the Grand Wailea have enough places.
Yeah,
for
Four Seasons in Grand Wailea, when they're building it, they made that their housing choice.
Right.
But then the people that could have it said, we don't want to do that.
Well, it's still really beautiful. But the Maui Islander, when I moved in there, I had a contract teaching swimming and such with the Hyatt Regency, and basically ended up being just a little over 1 week and 2 days pay, which was 33%, maybe somewhere right in that ballpark, was where it's supposed to be.
But that's
Today,
what we learned all our lives about. Everyone teaches you how to budget, but they don't teach you how to get enough money to fill that budget.
Right, and which everybody on the island, which I learned back then, is that you always have to have some side gig going. You can't, one job, unless you're absolutely blessed, does not keep you above water. I mean, my retirement is 90% going to rent right now.
Wow.
Yeah. So,
What can you say? It is what it is.
It is what it is. And I'm blessed. I mean, I walked the beach this morning. I walked my miles. I've been just, you don't do as much.
Right. That's what I found about Maui. You get to enjoy life because of what it is.
Yeah.
You don't have a lot of add-ons.
Oh, yeah.
I know. I've gone out to eat in my lifetime enough times that I can almost do it with my eyes closed and reimagine the most beautiful places in the world. Or we do a green screen like we want to do with the studio.
Yeah, we want to paint this green so we can be on the beach.
We have us in the beach. Yeah. That's a great idea.
Wouldn't that be kind of cool?
We'll have a painting party. I don't think but next week's a good week.
No.
We have to wait this place that we've been in here, I guess 2018. Wow. Can you imagine 8 years? I've been sitting here doing this.
80 years. That's just amazing for a guy that's only 74.
Now, you've done a bunch of shows with me.
I have. It's fun.
And a bunch by yourself.
Yeah. I did it on KTIL on the Oregon coast. I did.
Are you ready to do some more new shows by yourself?
I'm always ready. Yeah.
Because you guys out there know that Mama Presents is my baby. Maui Arts and Music. Yeah. That's where my head's going. And this Neutral Zone is here to have conversation. Now the website is
that looks really nice.
Next week's guest is the gentleman. His name is Jim Carrey.
Okay.
Not that tall guy. Shorter guy.
Not the actor.
He is a wizard and a beautiful man. And he's been doing computer stuff a long time, and what he has done. Imagine we go to the website, people say, I have a search engine for my website. We have transcripts of every show and summaries of every show that AI did. It's like when I read it I think, wait a minute, do not trust AI totally, but the transcript is there.
It's pretty good. Yeah, I've been using it,
but it's pretty good. But that means, Scott, we're going to talk about affordable housing. Every time we say that in any of our shows, so if you put it on the search engine, you say, wait a minute, look at that. There's out of 550 shows so far, we got 550 shows up there. Hannibal Tavares in 1990, but you suddenly see everyone talking about it. You can find where they talked about it, what they said. We can also talk, I think some of the shows that I haven't been able to find in the archives. It went from tape to CD, and things get disintegrated after a while. But some of the political promises by the people that have come and gone in office, you'll see they not only spoke on both sides of their mouth, but they never got it accomplished. Housing's one of them.
Yeah.
So you put housing into there, you'll listen and realize how many times we've been going around this bush.
Yeah.
And and I've said the word emergency. I love that word.
You know that. And I always go back to Nixon taking us off a gold standard, where all of a sudden we just were able to print money. It's a fiat, and here we are, and we've
Do you know what that means? You know what fiat means?
A small car in Italian.
That's right, a little Italian car. It's currency. It's made up money.
It's monopoly money.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and
we
so
trade
the
it for
world,
things.
and then they keep making things like crypto coins. This one's going to be sailing off into the sunset.
Did you see how crypto was pretty much flat for 2025? I was watching that, and then I looked at some silver. Silver has gone up 240% in 2025.
I was stung when the Hunt brothers did their thing. I bought silver at 48, and then it was down to 5 and 6, and I thought, well,
it's at
should I equalize?
170 now.
No, silver's like 60, 70.
Well, China has locked off their silver from being exported.
Oh, really?
And you realize that every one of these server farms that come online needs about 400 tons of silver to make that. Electric cars take 10 times the amount of silver that a regular combustion engine
Anyway,
car,
silver is sailing into the... But even so, when I see that, two things come to my mind. One, I kicked myself for not buying when it was $5. A nickel.
I got a bag of nickels in the closet.
But it also means that there are people that right now have sudden great wealth, and wealth that is not working. Yes, it makes an individual and their children and their great-grandchildren, people that aren't even born yet, but they're going to have wealth. But right now,
if it's not
to
working,
put some of those assets to work, right?
But if
that's
it's not
why
working,
I talk about
it's
equity sharing and the big rich guys. They could be partners, and we could have massive solutions being
If we
created.
took all the money from 10%, the top 10%, we could run our country for 45 minutes. If we took every asset and every dime from the top 10% of all the wealthiest people in our country, we couldn't even run this country for an hour.
So what? Oh, look, I know that probably is an issue we'll talk about in a minute. But my thing is, I first want to acknowledge and get it to be acknowledged that a solution we've just presented, a real housing solution, about duplicating of a master plan that's been working, different kinds of models, right?
Well,
and we can fund it this way.
Let's go back. Let's go back to who's using that model right now.
Okay,
we have folks that have come to our country without permission, and they are gathering in a co-op, and they are buying housing. And they're doing that shared housing.
That's because their
culture is different than ours.
And they understand and value
wealth.
The things that here in America many people have taken for granted.
Right. Because we have this normal...
And it's a different culture.
Yeah.
They're building for the future. We see it. The Filipino community here, when I first came here, I looked and I said, "What?" And someone said, "Oh, that's a Filipino hotel." That sure sounds prejudiced. What the hell's that about? Yeah, they come over, they live together in groups, they take all their money, they pool it, they buy a house together, they build it up, they got
assets.
10 bedroom, 12 bathroom, non-conforming structure.
And then they leverage it and buy more.
Right. And or how about taking care of disabled and older people, and there's a lack of housing. Who controls we're going to take care of people in their old age, and we're going to have people...
When
the Filipino community has all...
No, okay, let's look closer. Let's look closer at that, Jason. Let's look at the cultural differences here.
Okay.
Families used to have a great number of children. They now have 1.6 kids in the United States.
Okay.
Filipino families, Hawaiian families,
Greater numbers.
greater numbers. So, again, our tax structure, our family structure, our ingedums, it used to be, and it really becomes...
What's an ingedum? That's scary.
Ingedum. Like, your brothers, your sisters, your sister-in-laws, your brother-in-laws, your nephews, your nieces, your great-nephews and nieces.
Our extended family.
Yeah, our extended family, your ingedum. And they used to live more closely for almost 100 years. They were pretty centralized. And in the last 40 years, I mean, families have
Well,
spread.
no, it happened to me. I moved out here. I haven't seen my family in 37 years.
Yeah, my son Brian moved home 6 months ago. It's been great. You know, it's really neat when Sunday afternoon, one of your kids is going to show up for dinner. Yeah, that's how when I was growing up, we would go to Grandma's house Sunday afternoon, and that smell of the roast and
changed.
Yeah,
our friends are many times our closest family.
Right, and that's God's blessing for some family.
No, but there's so here we're in a different society.
Right, our culture has changed.
Wow.
Yeah,
and the money that we pay for rent has gone from 25% of what we make to 90% of what we make.
And so when you're raising a family,
how do you do that?
When you're raising a family and you have extended family close, you have that opportunity where you're not paying a lot of childcare. Everything is happening within the ingedum, which is exactly the model you have stated for people that don't know each other.
Point.
Family put up with each other because they're family. But sometimes people that just gather in a group, or if you've ever been in business with somebody, it's a
neighbors
tough.
in apartment buildings.
Oh, yeah.
So I don't understand why we have to say there's a new problem. It's not. It's
not new. It's complex.
Well, I think mostly it's a matter of respect.
Yeah.
But see, I'm not even going there because there are so many potential housing models, different cover for every pot that's different.
Right.
So I'm not describing the end product in specific. I'm more trying to do a broad brush to be able to finance alternatives, accomplish what we need to house everyone now and be able to breathe and say, okay, now let's make sure we can feed everyone. I don't know which comes first.
Well,
and let's do these things so we can be self-sustained and then some. And the whole world will say, how did you do that?
We are at a monumental moment in the evolution of the human beings right now. For the first time in human history, everyone on the planet is getting some sort of food and nourishment and are getting fat as a whole. As a nation, we are overweight. 60% of us are overweight. That's never happened in the history of known history. And that's an evolutionary moment that is changing our physiology of our body, our digestive systems, our everything has been. We are going through this evolutionary step that just slammed into our face, which is shortening our lifespans. Obviously, we are the least healthy country in the world, and we have the most amount of assets. I'm really, really excited about being able to watch a football game or a basketball game without a friggin' Viagra commercial or learning about some new drug for something that just doesn't make sense to me. And I'm like, please, it was nice. I enjoyed the Marlboro Man riding across, smoking his cigarette, riding his horse. And but it's time that we just say, get the drugs off TV. And I'm looking forward to that. Because everybody has an ache or a pain, and then if they manifest it and they just keep thinking about it, and then they're like, all they can see is, oh my gosh, my knee kind of hurts a little bit. I better I gotta go. I'm gonna get this pill, and I'm gonna be better. I gotta walk through the daisies with my grandchildren, and I'll be able to throw them in the air. It's gonna be so amazing.
Those are great commercials.
Oh God,
there are no daisies, baby.
I miss the sunflowers that were over there on the corner.
They'll be back again.
I haven't seen them in a couple years.
Is it that long? I think it was in the meantime.
They were so cool to go out and walk in that.
I know that they have a thing going on in Kauai. They were trying to get land through Maui Pono, but Maui Pono said no.
That's not sunflowers. That's a tough market.
Well, they take their product and turn it into a specific
Well, they
product.
do. Yes, they do.
So they have an outlet before they grow it.
Right.
That's different than growing it with a
Well,
question mark.
nobody grows anything without having an end game. So,
yeah. And how do you get excess? We know how to get excess.
Yeah, we manipulate it with chemicals.
This is here's a bolt of information. In this chair, in 2020, just before COVID, Michael Smith, Regenitech. What's that?
That was really cool.
Taking green waste and through a process, blah, 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 turning it into power, turning it into a supercharger for growing. Well, he started with there's a movie called The Need to Grow, worth seeing.
And they built
and it burnt down, and they rebuilt it again there on this huge thing that was 18 greenhouses and the edge of this property. Well, and then that big thing went for sale, and there was like, oh no, we got to figure out what to do. And now they've been able to purchase the property. They now have 18 greenhouses. They're building an exploratorium, all for this green waste thing. We wanted to do it here. Yes, we still want to do it here.
Yeah, but they did it where the land was a lot more accessible.
My point really is the technology. The technology, not only has it been proven that...
Oh, yeah.
But we don't need land to be able to do that kind of a process.
No, you can do...
5 acres in setup to be able to separate the green into different kinds of
Tim, my good friend who's out in Montana, they put in 3 containers that have rotational beds that just keep rotating all the time.
Wow.
And rotational greens. And it's an amazing greenhouse where you're actually just taking a small space, and if you're doing 10 levels of it, you're creating almost an acre of food out of a container. And it's really amazing.
Well, I'm happy to say those things that we thought were amazing aren't stopping. The amazement is there, and what's always amazing to me is that what seems to be most amazing is these processes get back to things that are natural and work.
Well, and it has to be farm to table just about, and that's been the goal for the last since the 70s.
So because we live it here,
right?
We could do it here,
and we know that 90% of our fresh vegetables are on a tanker somewhere right now. So
both in and out.
And now we're facing another catastrophic, the closure of the petroleum industry in California is going to, because of the Jones Act, because we can't buy oil and gas from California or Texas or Alaska because of the Jones Act, because anything goes on a tanker has to go to another country. So we have been buying our gas and oil from other countries for Hawaii since the beginning of time. Now we're going to have to compete because California is going to increase buying their oil from South America and Russia and China and everywhere else. So now that demand, that 25 or 35% to fill the gap where the petroleum industry has cut California because they still need their oil and gas, I would see our gas prices being $12 in a heartbeat within a year and a half because of the demand. There we go. We got this supply and demand thing. California used to supply pretty much all of what they needed, and then they sold their excess. California, with Phillips Petroleum pulling out, with Chevron pulling out, with Conoco pulling out because of regulations and controls. And I mean, refineries are gross. I won't say they're not, but they're a necessity. But we're going to be competing to buy oil now from California, which
Can I
we've
ask
never
a
had
quick question? Because I'm trying to change the subject from
Oh, we can change it.
a
I'm good.
larger. All that stuff exists. The world, excuse me, and so, but we're on an island, a remote island,
Right.
and because of that, what seems like some harebrained idea, taking green waste and spending all this energy and time developing these alternative things,
Right.
are our strength. We can live this ideal solution.
Right. We're living on.
So-
There's only 2 states in the United States that can survive on their own with no help from anyone. Hawaii and Alaska, the only 2. We can produce enough food here for the residents of the state of Hawaii
And power.
to live, and power.
Green.
Well, it
I
wouldn't
love how
be-
Michael
we
used to
wouldn't be
say,
running- we wouldn't be
He'd look
running-
and sees all the fields and say, "That is our energy storage tank. That green is energy. That is our storage." So we are perfectly poised to be a global leader in alternatives that could become the standard model for many places.
Well, and
that's a
we
beautiful thing, 'cause-
also have never tapped our swells either.
No, we've never do ocean thermal energy conversion, the wave stuff.
The wave stuff. We have volcanoes that could generate.
Oh yeah, all kinds of. No,
Yeah,
we've gone through a
my
lot.
science fair project when I was in 5th grade was I built out of an old Stanley steam engine toy. I built a geothermal plant for my 5th grade science project.
Wow.
And it was really cool. And it drove a piston and it lit up a little light bulb. And that was in 5th grade. So we're talking about 1969.
How long have we found and known solutions?
How long are we going to wait to go down 400 feet where the rocks have never completely cooled and just, we could be going, if you just go down 40 feet under a home, run tubing back and forth, you can cool your home without basically anything.
Cool and heat.
Cool and heat. Look at the Iceland model. Yeah, they have no.
You guys who are listening, are you saying, man, these guys are like bringing out all kinds of amazing things?
No, we're just a couple of guys that have this much knowledge about a lot of things.
Yeah, maybe. But if in 1969 we had this much knowledge,
yeah,
and we still have it, and we're still not seeing that happening.
Who control? And see, we get back to the big money. We get back to okay. Let's go back to back during the time of Edison, when Edison and Tesla were wrestling between AC and DC power. Edison had more money and ran Tesla out. When Ford first came out with their first electric car, and then there was this competition, and Mr. Phillips got involved and said, I can make gasoline and we can make this. And all of a sudden, the powers to be made combustion engines when our first cars were electric. So the people who control the money, the banks.
But again, I like to go back and rewind to, I myself preach a different kind of ethical action in society than we have, because the ones that are hoarding money, don't they know that when they die they take nothing, and all those people they're leaving behind, what good is having a beautiful life if everything around you is dust and you're the only one? Shouldn't we say that a rising tide raises all ships?
Well, now
Isn't
you're quoting
true
Reagan
wealth,
on me again.
I'm quoting me.
Okay.
Isn't true wealth the quality of the life we live?
Yeah,
with others?
I feel like I'm the wealthiest person in the world.
It's
I
how
truly
we
do.
serve and give that we find the greatest value to our heart over time.
Right. And you can't tell somebody to change what they're doing. That's just wrong. You've got to inspire them, possibly.
Inspiring.
I think you and I are quite inspiring, Jason. We get in here and tear it up.
Yeah, well, you know what's inspiring to me? That we really are always talking about finding solutions that work for you and me. We're not leaving anyone out of our solution package.
No.
We're not saying, oh, wait, you said earlier, well, there's a lot of people that are coming and using the system, and they're immigrants. They're more power to them. And we as Americans go, we don't want those people here. They're smarter than us. What are we going to do now?
That's the mistake Apple has made with China. Apple made that mistake with a lot of their plants overseas. They thought, well, we're going to have them be building our technology. They didn't realize that they'd learned from that technology, and now we're making things on their own. So it's a never-ending cycle. It really is.
No, but the cycle could be broken through caring about the one receiving what you've got and not feeling that.
So if the greatest gift that you can give anybody,
but now is dying. I'm still believing that we have to change the economic model. When I make money, I want to give most of it back into.
To me, I know I would love it if you were to pay me back, Jason, for all the great knowledge I bestowed upon you.
No, I would love it too. By the way,
but Jason, you were talking about changing the human heart when you get right down to this.
No, making the heart aware of where it is, because I think.
Well, and that's what every church and every ashram.
Take away the veil.
This is what the people who share the gospel and share the Bhagavad Gita and share those things are so inspired with the good that they feel from that. They go out and they share it with others. Okay. If you want somebody with a gazillion dollars to change how they're doing something, you can't tell them to do it. You can inspire them to do it.
You show them how much joy they can feel as this is happening.
Yeah.
The good that comes from that is extraordinary.
Well, it is,
changing the world.
Yeah, I go to mass every day, and
really every day.
Yeah, well, it's on YouTube. It's wonderful.
Wow.
Yeah, and I listen to the readings, and sometimes I'm going like, what the heck, and the readings about the Holy Family today having to go to Nazareth, because Caesar declared that they needed to go do their due diligence to make sure they register their child and all this stuff. And I'm like, man, nothing's changed. Nothing has changed. It really hasn't. And I'm like, wow, okay.
But what do we see in the books? We see the best and the worst. We see the love and the giving and the caring and the sharing.
But we create a system that you and I are trying to break, having this conversation of we don't sensationalize anything to fill our pockets. Okay. We don't take the worst case scenario of a serial killer rapist that came across the border and spend hours on that. We don't talk either too much about the stories of the great successes that our country's built on immigration. And I can go back to those two bills that I worked on. One, George Bush Sr. tried to push through an immigration change bill and got slammed by the Democrats. And then Bill Clinton took that exact same bill, same wordage, and got slammed by the Republicans. It would have streamlined immigration to make sure we know who's coming here. This is the only country you can come and be part of and become an American. You can't go to China and become a Chinese person. You can't go to the Netherlands and become a Swede. You can't go.
Well, when you say that, you can go to. What makes us American? Just because we put a stamp on your head that you're now considered American?
But when you come to America, you embrace the culture, you embrace the traditions.
Right. So it's not true for every country? Otherwise, you aren't.
I've never, when I lived in Germany.
Here we call Kama Aina. What does that mean? That means you've embraced. Right?
Yeah, you've embraced
things here.
Yeah.
So that's what you're talking about. If you go to France, you can't become French.
You can become
it's just a matter of definition.
It really is.
It's the heart. To me, it's the heart. What I have always appreciated about being American is that inspiration and opportunity to make things greater.
Yeah.
Not greater necessarily from my pocket. I never thought about the money, which is why I don't have a lot of money.
No, we were both there, yeah.
But the good that happens when you do good, it's
right. It's a wonderful thing, and this is the season, Jason. We were right on topic today. This is the season of making sure that we take care of each other, we take care of ourselves. You need to get back in the water and walk with me.
I'd love to. You want to do it at your pool?
Yeah, my pool's fine. Yeah,
okay.
But I'll keep you accountable. You got the new parts. You need to keep working with them.
This man has helped me through some of the roughest physical. That was really... Thank you so much for doing that water walking. And
it's fun.
I wish I lived closer. I'd be able to do your morning walk, but going down there that early is...
that's a tough one.
But I really need to get back and do the
Think of these
walking.
crazy people I met Gary Sinise the other day.
Who, Gary Sinise? Oh, yeah?
Yeah, from Lieutenant Dan.
From Forrest Gump.
Yeah, you just, when you're walking, you're like, oh, crap. Wow, that's cool. I was pretty tongue-tied. Larry Bird, I was tongue-tied.
Oh, how? Larry Bird is
6'9". Yeah, he's huge.
You notice.
And he's like old. And I'm like look in the mirror, Scott. We're the same
He's
age.
old?
Yeah.
Larry Bird.
Yeah.
Isn't that amazing? The media has, snapshots of all our people that we know that were younger.
And they repeat it. And then all of a sudden you actually meet them. You go, dude. Wow. Yeah, when I met Tony Hawk the other day. And he actually knew of me, which I thought was pretty cool.
He knew of you?
Yeah. Well,
you guys know who Tony Hawk is?
He's the world's premier skater, and he's in his late 50s.
Wow.
Yeah, and he's still amazing. But he says, you do water work and stuff, right? And I go, yeah, I do. And he says, one of these days, he says, I'm getting older. I probably need to focus on that a little bit more.
Oh, that's fine.
Yeah, I was like, hey, that's kind of cool.
That's a nice kind of category of client.
It is. Well, I have a lot of those that I have non-disclosure with. But yeah, it's fun. But it is the season of giving. It is the season of, sharing joy.
And I like to think it's always the season.
Well, it is.
I live
it
with
is.
Ariel
How can you get up and live on Maui and not just wake up
Ariel's
smiling?
Message. What a lovely day today. And whatever I got to say,
yeah,
it's a lovely day to say it.
It's a lovely day in the neighborhood.
It's true.
Yeah.
And, I've been so blessed being here, and I've had great influences. You're a great influence, and you're very inspiring because the work that you do, up close and personal with people in that great hotel.
That great hotel, the all-inclusive stay.
Oh, yeah.
Just break the law.
No. You can't get in unless you do something bad, right?
Pretty bad, yeah. Yeah.
That's quite a real... I never got a call back, by the way. I was going to be a counselor.
That's too bad.
Never called me back.
Yeah, we've... yeah, it's an interesting, and I would love to take you in there, but you have to go through this whole training process, how to dodge bullets, in case things go to heck.
Have you come across the Mankind Project? They have Boys to Men.
I know the one that they were doing. Actually, we had that discussion the other day. Who was I having that discussion with? Well, I actually used two of the founders of Boys to Men have a couple videos on YouTube. They're older, that talk about the importance of being a good father, and it's not always showering your kids with gifts, blah blah blah, all that. It's part of instilling them that this is a responsibility. It's important. Doing your best is not about doing everything like you see on TV, and it really rings home. And that's some of the trouble that many of the gentlemen that get incarcerated have. They have this vision that they have to have the nice house and the nice cars and all that. And then the reality is, if you haven't found that niche where that can happen, which has not changed throughout time, it really hasn't. You've got to find that niche so that you can actually make the world work for you, and then be happy with what you have. I am so blessed that I have an apartment, and I'm so blessed that I have a Subaru. But anybody that has a broken Subaru that might still have a driveline that doesn't, I need to replace my driveline. That's like $400.
Well, I need a thing in my car too.
Yeah, and it's just like I'm driving over here today, and I'm like, you know what? I don't want to use a credit card at 24% interest.
You know what? Everybody knows, I guess. You ever call Gundy's? I never heard of Gundy's, and when I said that to a guy that owned the shop, he just laughed. Because these people can get you any part you need at the best price in a couple of days.
You know what? I should try them again. It's not a super expensive part. I mean, I can do it myself, but it's just like one of those things that your car's got 200 and zillion miles on it.
Yeah, 830 million.
Yeah, it's time that part needs to get replaced. Like we did front wheel bearings the other day. You know. Taking it to Subaru, that's like $2,500. Doing it myself was $200.
You bring it to it, and you wonder why we can't afford these high rents. Your car is broken. I need brakes. $800. The prices are out of control, but the wages aren't.
Yeah, but
how do you deal with that? Second job, third job.
Well, if you grow up poor, you know how to fix everything because you never could pay for it to get fixed. So I think that's why I know how to fix pretty much everything. You know, it's just life is good.
We have 2026 coming. We're almost at the end of 2025.
We are, and I think this last year has been an absolute. I think this last year has been the best year ever.
For you?
Yeah.
In what way?
I've just found myself smiling more.
Well, I find myself smiling because
I turned off the TV.
Oh, that's very funny.
It really is. I just seem so relaxed with, I have a few people that I follow online, and they're university-based economics folks and political science folks.
People are going to start unplugging? Is that going to be the new relaxation?
I think they unplugged 25 years ago. The 90% of people who watch NBC, ABC, and CBS and CNN are over the age of 70. As soon as that demographic dies, that's gone.
I can almost not imagine that. So how are people getting delivery in small little bites online?
If there's something that truly interests you and you have
how do you,
like the 10th Amendment Center that I belong to.
Yeah.
Okay, that's a think tank of constitutional thinkers who rehash everything from the Federalist Papers down to every amendment in the Constitution.
What's the 10th Amendment?
What's that?
What is the 10th Amendment?
And there goes my brain fade again.
No, I'm saying
the
organization is called 10th.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking
it's the organizational. It's the organization.
I know that the first. How many were the Bill of Rights?
Numbers. Me and numbers, Jason.
Does it really matter? You know what really
The 10th Amendment was the organization of the Continental Congress.
Taking that moment to recognizing you are here now. And from here, you can do anything. The potential is anything.
Yeah, I mean, we have the world at our fingertips now.
You can do something nice.
Oh, I absolutely. My AI that I work with is so absolutely wonderful. When I dictate my chart notes every week, and I don't have to think about grammar, I don't think about any of those small little things, and it just cleans it up, and I cut and paste, drop it in. It's
and yet I've seen AI do things like I watch the thing. I know I'm singing this song, then I read the thing. It says, and XYZ a woman who was singing this song. So it's not always accurate. So
right.
It's really important to know. AI is a great tool, but it isn't infallible.
No, but when you're using, AI for me is basically when I was in college and I had my Tandy 1000 and I slipped in the disc and it checked my spelling.
Oh yeah.
That was like a come to Jesus moment. I was like, I don't have to spend hours with a dictionary. It'll just automatically go. Because normally when I see a word correctly spelled, I know it. It's just when I'm zipping along.
I got you.
Yeah. So it's.
Believe it or not, we only have 3 minutes left. So
Merry Christmas, Happy New Year.
2025. Thank you. It was a good year.
Great year.
What levels you look at. It was personally always rewarding, and their problems are still around, and issues still exist. But I have a lot of hope for this next year. I hope to be able to bring all that we see up another level.
Oh, it would be wonderful. Maybe if we actually get pictures on the wall in here again, too.
involved. Then you involved.
Yeah.
All of us involved. And bring this up a level. Take a look at MauiNeutralZone.com. From there, look at MauiCoastProperty.com, DreamMaui.com.
You're all
You're
over
gonna
it.
see that all these things fit together.
They do.
And that's what's so exciting, because this is the year that we start all realizing that together we're going to make this rise. So all you sponsors, all you donors, be ready. You're going to see some faces coming through your door. We're going to do good this year and we'll be like Derrick Henry, running 36 times. Football's been fun. This is time to run for, it's more than gold. This is a time to have
We're in our golden
all
years,
of us
Jason.
make a good choice and help progress our world toward making sure the world doesn't end in 2040 as we know it.
Well,
Everything
there's
we can
always
do
been doomsayers.
No, but we can do good to make that clock go the other way.
And we need to be able to shake our neighbors' hands and say hello and
Right.
look them in
We
the
sure
eye.
do. Well, thank you for being everything you are. You've always
Thank
been a
you,
great
Jason.
co-host.
You always make me smile. I didn't poke you today and get you all riled
No, it
up.
was really-
He didn't have his heart pills sitting here, so I didn't want to get him too excited.
Scott R. Bushnell, thank you for joining me.
AlohaSwimLessons.com.
Oh,
Thank
that's
you.
very important.
Yeah, that's
Aloha
very important. I don't do as many lessons as I did pre-COVID, but I still, get people comfortable in the
and
water.
it'll be on screen, but those of you who are watching on public access TV don't see that stuff on screen.
Yeah, I do
That's why you go to
specialized swim lessons for adults who freak out thinking about getting in the ocean in the water. That's my
You're really
that's my
terrific.
thing.
And now you're going to have me walking in the water with you.
Yeah, I'll have you walking on the water with me.
We have so many seconds left, and we don't know if the credit music is going to come up, but we appreciate you being here. We appreciate you being here, Scott. Happy New Year, everyone. Be safe. Be happy.
Happy 2026.
And make sure that next year, which soon is going to be this year, is the best of your life, and you can participate in making this a better place.
And don't drive drunk.
There you go.
Merry Christmas. Happy New Year.
There's the music. And
Wow.
I don't hear it here. It's making it. Aloha, everyone. Happy New Year.